Hi guys, it's Lindsay Coyle with Airdrie Exchange, and yes, I'm coming to you from my hot tub again. This is my second time in today. I use it as a reward. I'm like, okay, I'm going to help the kids with their homeschooling, and I'm going to the hot tub. And then I'm going to clean up the house, and then I'm going to the hot tub. And after dinner, before bed, I might go in the hot tub again. It's not always a 3 times kind of thing, but today it is. My husband's on shift. He does a 24-hour shift with the Calgary Fire Department, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. He's in a tri-service hall, which means that there's police, EMS, and fire all together, and kind of makes me a little worried. So tomorrow morning he comes through the door, and I just find I'm kind of sitting at home trying not to think about it. But it's Monday, and it's the three things in action. I can't even remember what the hashtag was that I created last Monday, but didn't forget. I just don't remember what I called it. But the 3 things in action require me to look out into the world and see what's so, to determine what I think is the need in that moment, and what is one action that I can take that is needed based on that. So, and I didn't prepare for this because I think sometimes in the moment when you force yourself with a camera rolling that you just probably say things that are a little bit more at top of mind that you're not willing to say sometimes. So, when I look out into the world and think about what's so, what I'm seeing is that some of the conversations I've had over the last couple of days, businesses feeling bad that they are charging during the pandemic, because it feels like in order to be able to give back during this time, you need to discount or do for free what you can. And I think a lot of people are doing it. I think it's phenomenal. There's some great businesses stepping up and doing things, and I applaud you. The city of okay, wait, there was like 4 things that I remember. Okay, Discover Airdrie 106.1, they have a Bring Me Basics, which is an e-commerce, like they're helping people that have e-commerce in one centralized site. That's great. Airdrie Life, they're doing the makers market for all of our artisans. That's fantastic. The city, they just came out with a free online directory for what's open now, and so they say whether they do like curbside pickup, delivery, all that stuff. That's fantastic. And Get in the Loop, they've opened up their platform for free for businesses to get on there. So there's a lot of resources that are being provided by companies. Definitely explore them and see if they can help you, because the game we're in right now is make it through this any way you can. And I want all of us to make it. So do what you got to do and get where you need to get so that I see you at the end of this, okay? And the flip side of that is that there are businesses that can't do business for free, and that, discount and do what they can, and it may not feel like enough, but it is, because the game is to make it through this, not to become some altruistic hero throughout this that goes beyond your means and is detrimental to the long term of your business. We have to stay within reality on that, okay? So I've listened to a couple people that speak from a place of guilt because they have to charge for their services or products, and I'm like, no, that's why we're in business. And this pandemic, it absolutely brings to light the fact that, things are tough. And so knowing that, we try to do what we can, and that's the best you can do. And the best you can do is the best you can do, and it is not to be compared with anyone else. I'm guilty of comparing. I'm guilty of getting put on my ass and thinking like, what can I do? But we get through it, and we start thinking, okay, but what can I do? Minus the whining. So, yes, I'm in my hot tub, in my happy place, thinking, and that's what I see right now. So what is the need? The need is to seriously consider where you're at and what you can do. Don't compare it. Don't think it's not enough. Don't think any of those things. Just look at where you're at and what can you do. You are a human with a family, and you need to make decisions that support your family first and the community second, and that is okay. So in case you just needed to hear that, glad to do it. And what is my bold request? Oh, I should have thought of this one a little bit more, because I'm like, what is my bold request? So I participated in the training for a rural mental health project, and I recently started talking to people in our community to kind of bring us together. And so what I'm going to put out there is, one of the big things that I'd like to see is that we start a consensus among us that it is not okay to be toxic, a bully, or rude to other people on social media. And the only way I see that changing, because it's not a one-person job, it's a consensus. It means that we create the space for other people to speak up, because we know it bugs a lot of people when we witness it, but we question whether it's worth saying anything, because then they turn their, then you become a target, or then, what have you. Oh, I hope the wind isn't making this horrible. I might not be able to post this, but we'll see. Anyways, just be brave and be willing to stand for being kind on social media. And sometimes if I'm there and I see you do it, I will have your back. And if I do it, please have mine, because it's a lonely place to be sometimes. And it's nice to have other people kind of join in on the consensus to be kind. And in some groups on Facebook and things like that, the consensus is not to be kind, so maybe you just don't belong to those ones. I don't know. You got to protect yourself and your mental health and your boundaries, and do what you got to do. And if a group is consistently putting things out there that bug you, then don't be there. That's what I see. So I think, as somebody who's involved in all the community groups, I've unfollowed a lot of groups, but I'm still a part of it. But I'm going to start really looking at which ones are impacting me and which ones aren't. So putting that out there, those are my 3 things in action. And I hope you're all doing well. Go to your happy place. Don't feel guilty about going to your happy place 2-3 times a day if you need to, because we just got to get through this. Okay? Sending you love. Bye.